Well, this morning as I sped past the sports room, I couldn't help noticing that Alan Partridge's desk was empty. I thought he was dead until I realised he's at the Olympics. He's there right now for the opening ceremony. Hello, Alan.
Ah, yes, the Olympics again, stretching back thousands of years to Greece. Greece, where fit young men wrestled naked under the baking Aegean sun of Mount Olympus. Absolutely naked. Now, once more, we see a new generation of athletes, colossi, giants even, striding with their gelled blonde hair and stomachs like tortoise shells, all ribbed and hard like a sort of rubber wall of some sort. Gods and goddesses too, let's not forget. Oh, where did the baby gods come from? Diana of the Hunt. No test tubes in those days, Olympics or not. The Americans here, blonde-haired, muscles rippling under their vests, followed by the Swedish men. Sturdy, blonde, legs like trees these fellas have got, I can tell you. And the Englishmen next after them, blonde mostly. Arms like huge, muscly legs. Their singlets and shorts taut with hidden athletic power. All nations here, the peak of humanity, stalking the world of sport as if they had rained from heaven in a golden shower of athletic rain, all of them coming together in harmony at the Olympic feast. The Olympic feast of ancient sport, where they can run around and jump over things, jumping very high into the air indeed, and at what great speeds too, believe you me. And throwing things into the air as well, sort of discs, I think they're throwing. And big balls of iron, like huge walnuts of stone they are, flying into the Olympic sky. And some sticks as well, they throw them sometimes.
On the hour, interesting listening with a newsy stamp.
And we'll be returning to Alan Partridge at the Olympics later on in the programme. Just time now to whip back to Alan Partridge before the end of the programme. He's at the Olympic opening ceremony. Alan, loose your bow.
There are flags here from many countries, all different colours, and people of all different colours like the flags, though the people, of course, are not always the same colour as their flags. Maybe they should be, who knows? Now, and in the athletic parade now, I can see some of the women athletes, a relatively new development these women are, and I know, you know, some people say, no, they shouldn't be here, not in the Olympics, no, let them have their own Olympics like the disabled fellas do, but I say no to them. I think it's good to have them along, adding a bit of glam to these sacred races in their shorts. Very nice indeed. There's the Moroccans from Little Morocco. Look at the cheeky fellas. The smaller racers coming together, competing with the big boys. I wonder what their national anthem is. Probably quite a lot of drums involved. Pity we probably won't be able to hear it here, because I doubt, frankly, if they'll be winning anything. Unless, of course, they're giving out medals for pluckiness.
Closing music. Ultra News.
Sport now with Alan Partridge. Alan, you're a keen fan of the law, aren't you?
I certainly am. I support the law fully. Not too keen on those that break it, though.
How do you support it, then?
Just generally support it.
What, generally turn up on a Saturday afternoon and wave from the touchlines?
This is Sports Desk. I'm Alan Partridge, and it's a special desk of sport now as we look back on some of the sporting highlights of the last sporting season. So lie down, relax, and let the sports commence. When it's cycling championships you're after, you can't say fairer than the Tour de France.
Di Brandauer there in the lead, swaying from side to side in his own inimitable bike-riding way. Klaus Bin there on the inside, pumping away with those gristle-like muscly legs inside those tight lycra shorts, which have become his trademark. And I don't know what this man is playing at. There's no way. Surely the judges must come down like a ton of bricks on that. Carrying bikes on top of a car is not a sportsmanlike way to run this race. You join me in the helicopter now as we look down on these cyclists that look somehow like cattle in a mad way, but cattle on bikes. And there's Sven Gunsen, closely followed by his great friend and teammate Klaus Spin. And the man with the bites on his car is, yes, he's disqualified, as I said. And Klaus Spin there wins, riding non-handed. No need for that.
It was a belter of a season for athletics.
1,500 metres there, Cram. And not a lot happening. Quite unremarkable. Oh, good, someone's fallen. It's Peter Elliott. Yes, he's down. Peter Elliott, no relation to the late Denham. And come on, Pete, back on your feet. You can catch up with them. No, he can't be bothered.
And it was upsets all the way in the dive championships.
Greg Lagani, down, double back twister, bangs his head in, textbook, lovely. Let's see it again. He boings down, up in the air, double back twister, comes down, bangs his head on the board and in, lovely. The judges surely will give him high marks for that.
But for my money, the best punches were being pulled this season in the boxing ring.
As he's affectionately known to me. Thank goodness, actually, they're wearing gloves, because I've witnessed bare-knuckle boxing in a barn in Somerset about 3 years ago, and it was a sorry sight to see men goading them on in such a barbaric fashion, and I'm rather ashamed to say I was party to that goading. And two men fighting, as I saw in the barn that night, naked as the day they were born, and fighting the way God intended. Wrestling at points. I don't know if you've seen Women in Love, the marvellous scene by the fire. It kind of resembled that.
I'm Alan Partridge, and that was my sporting season. Why don't you join me for another one? Join me.
Thanks, Alan. Time now for our resident humorist, Brant, the physical cartoonist from the Daily Telegraph, to cast a wry eye at the week's events. And it certainly has been some week, hasn't it, Alan?
Yes.
And so, with that in mind, Alan Partridge is at Marple for today's horse races. I wonder what he's doing at the moment. Alan?
Hi, Chris. I'm Alan Partridge. Horses. Love them or hate them, from Mr. Ed to Silver, that's the Lone Ranger's horse. They're all here mingling with officials. Don't do that, please. It's the 6:13 Queen Henry Stakes, which is generally regarded as the litmus test for Derby form. Jockey folklore says that if you cock up the Queen Henry, you might as well ride the Derby on a cow, which of course be a complete waste of time. Let's have a look at the betting. The going today, of course, Moist to Tricky. The betting, Diabetic Charlie at 3-1 favourite, two-headed Sex Beast at 4-1, and at 20-1, Mrs. Boothroyd's Holiday Dancer. All the rest, 50-1 bar. That's all for now. Join us later for the race. Back to you, Chris, in the studio.
Alan, have you got a tip for us?
I did have a tip, but I was going to tip New Year's Lad, but his horse box was hit by a Volvo on the M3. Terrible mess. Apparently he's dead. So, bad luck there. Back to you, Chris. Hello again. The 6:30 delayed due to a collapsed paddock. They're just sorting that out. Men and women here wandering around like ants on an anthill. Good to see Platitude Queen, a renowned horse, well known for its sense of humour. Look at that wiggle. Marvellous. I don't know what that is. Two to look out for. Number one there, Zainab Adawi's 20 Hotels, and number three, two-headed Sex Beast. It's great to see the deaf catered for by these real characters in anoraks. A couple of youngsters there fooling around. Let's hope that tomfoolery doesn't escalate into blind, ugly violence, which, let's face it, none of us want to see. Two fat ladies, 88. Old bingo expression there. Although these ladies, I'm very sure, are not the kind of ladies who you'd find at the bingo hall. They're altogether a better class of fat lady. Look at that. Lovely girl there, chomping on a sandwich. Oh. I'm sure what that is. Hope it's not a dead horse. They're not going to fit it in the back of a Volvo 340. Actually, I hope it isn't a dead horse. Sorry.
But first, Alan Partridge for the delayed 6:30 at Marple. Alan, Either you've just had a fight with a fire engine or it's raining its arse off out there.
Hi Chris, no racing as of yet. As you can see, one or two problems with the weather. It's really quite wet here. Really is quite wet. It was horrible. Really awful. Back to you in the studio.
The day today. Bagpiping fact into news.
Back to today's races. Alan Partridge is at the...
This is Ben, let him line it. Let him line it. I'm Alan Partridge here at Marple with me. Just a quick look at the betting. Onion Terror 2-1 favourite, 7-4 massive bereavement, and 100-30. Trust me, I'm a stomach. All the rest 3-1 bar. The 6:30 has a 50-minute delay due to a fist fight near the paddocks between two officials. One of them now hospitalised. But I'm pleased to say I have with me the winner of the last race. Come here, come here, Mickey Doolan. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well.
Are you now? Now, how do you feel about the race there? You won that race, the last race. How do you feel about that?
Well, very pleased to have won the race. It was a hard race, won it by a nose at the end, you know, so it's quite stiff.
And your mum and dad must be pleased. Now, what do they think of you doing this? Shouldn't you be at school? Do they not think you're sort of missing out on schoolwork?
Well, I think I'll be a little bit over that now. I'm 33 years of age,
What?
you know. That's right, I'm 33 years
You're
of age.
33?
That's right, yeah.
But I thought you... I mean, you look about 14.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment, you know.
Are you really 33 years old?
43 years of age, that's right.
My God. Well, all the others, are they sort of 30? I mean, they're not children.
Well, age varies from about, 18 to 42, or maybe a bit older.
But you're
than
so
that.
small.
Well, that's the idea, you know. I mean, if I was any bigger, if it was your size, then I wouldn't have won a race today.
Right, that's why you never see people like Brian Blessed riding horses. No, it makes sense. Right, well, thanks very much for talking to us, Mickey Doolan. Mickey Doolan here at Marple. Ah, raining.
Alan, sport.
Thanks, Chris. Well, it was a very amusing incident on the golf
Sorry,
course
Alan,
today.
I'm going to have to interrupt. Alan, sport.
Thanks, Chris. Well, as I said, it really was...
Shut it, Alan. I want you to stop. Time now for sport with Alan Partridge. Alan, you're a bit of a word man, aren't you?
I certainly am, like words. Where would we be without them? Help you when you're having a chat.
Yeah, do you feel them as they come out?
Yep, certainly do.
What do they feel like, then?
Yeah, something like that.
Do long words feel different from short ones?
Yeah.
What about significant words? What do they feel like? Alan,
What?
what do significant words feel like as they come out? Do they feel different?
Yes. I'm Alan Partridge.
Buttress is a significant
Yes.
word, isn't it?
Yeah. This is Sports Desk. Football. The Liverpool versus Tanners match ended last night with defeat for the Tanners. I visited their dressing room. The atmosphere here hangs heavy like a big smell. The smell of men together, the smell of cat's musk. Bob Mariner, you missed the penalty. Why?
Yeah, Alan, it was a bad one. It took the top of my boot. It was all over in an instant.
You look really stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't a good performance. I'm going to try and take a shower now.
Right.
Look on to the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Are you going to wash away the stain of defeat?
Get clean now and look on to the next. Start again in the rest of the season.
Yeah, but when you go home with your, you get to bed with your wife tonight. You watch the other VHS. You're going to sleep with her. She sees a stain on your body, and she says, "Bob, remove the stain." Will you remove it?
I'm married, Alan. I'm married.
Oh, mate, you've got a girlfriend though. On to show jumping, and I managed to catch up with the Australian dazzler Katrina Parfitt after this morning's big horse event. Katrina, quick word. Let me say, you look fantastic on a horse.
Thank you very much.
You're like the Lone Ranger on Tonto.
Oh,
How do you feel?
well, I feel disappointed. I didn't quite make it this time, but, that's the way it goes.
I was personally gutted because I love those little touches you add, the way
Yeah.
you turn, smile at the judge,
Well,
a little wave, a little wink.
it doesn't go
Marvellous.
on looks and smiles. It goes on a lot of skill and discipline,
I'm
Ellen.
sure he does, but let me tell you, if I'd have been a judge, I would have been a complete mess.
Oh, right.
What about the horse? How's that handling?
Well, Sedanzik wasn't doing too well. He shied away from the water jump, and that's when I really began to lose it.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, if you ever have any more problems with him, you can ride me round the paddock.
Thank you. Anyway, I think that next year I'll have better luck.
How do you ride a horse?
How do I ride?
How do you ride a horse?
Well, I've been riding since the age of about 5. I don't think it's anything you can learn. I think it's something that's in the blood.
Danzig.
He's my horse, yeah. And I shall be back next year and I shall win on him.
You tell him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you. Katrina Parfitt, a lady.
Well, Alan would agree she certainly is one for a fast car.
She certainly is. I prefer something a little bit more comfortable myself.
Now the sport with Alan Partridge.
Thanks, Chris. And it's a special desk of sport this week as we look forward to all the sporting action that will take place in this year's 1994 World Cup finals in America in Alan Partridge's World Cup Countdown to 94. Goal! Yes, 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 yes! That was a goal! Goal! Striker! Eat that! And another! Bing bang, stick it in. Thank you and good night. Swat! That was liquid football. Shit! Did you see that? He must have a foot like a traction engine. Goal! Well, it's going to be 3 weeks of non-stop action, and to help us along and add a little bit of colour and fun to the proceedings, I've got with me a soccer meter. What's that, Alan? Well, I'll tell you, it's very simple. It's to explain the group system. Now, first of all these long arms here, these long signposts, are the venues where the matches will be played. Dallas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and so on. If you look at me from above, you can see that these are the group. This is the group system. It's 14 groups: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and there are 4 rounds. There's round 1, the red round, yellow round, blue round, red round again. That's my colour coding, not FIFA's. You won't find that with FIFA, just with me. So that's the basis of it, and as you can see, they get progressively fewer towards the centre, the ultimate goal being the World Cup. All right, let's take an example. OK, round 1 is Pasadena. Let's say it takes place in Pasadena, between Chile and Paraguay, something like that. OK, and then we're through to round 2, which is, let's say it's San Francisco. We've not got much time here. San Francisco, and that goes through to Orlando. So let's take it round to Orlando there. Let's move those out of the way. Where's San Francisco? Right, just going to find San Francisco. Where is it? There it is, right. So San Francisco have played Orlando, and then we're through to round 3, Los Angeles. It's not written. It's not written on that side. It should be, but it's blooming not. And then it's whoever wins that. Then we're through to the final of the World Cup. Who's that going to be? Goal! The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding in this case is a football. Booth, eat my goal. The goalie has got football pie all over his shirt. I'm Alan Partridge, and that will be my World Cup 94. You can come too. Join me.
Thanks, Alan. More sport from you later.
Absolutely, Chris. With a bit of luck, we'll have Sandy Lyle on the line.
America now. Oh. If you have a baby in the States, you may well be in for a bit of a surprise when they yank it out.
I'm Alan Partridge. Hello. Rally driving. The championships start tonight, but here's what I got up to this morning. Hi, you join me with Susie Herper, one of this Britain's top lady rally drivers. Susie, you're going to be subjecting me to some atrocious punishment. What's that?
Well, I'm going to take you around the course that I won the rally on recently.
Right, fantastic. And the stickers, what are the stickers for?
Advertising.
It's as simple as that?
Yeah.
Really is that simple. Before we go around the course, just to explain, this is a modern camera that will be watching all my facial movements. It's the size of a slim Panatella cigar. One more thing, it's a great model, it goes like a bomb, And the car's not bad either. Come on, let's go burn some rubber. I see it's quite, Oh! Hey! Hey! Spunky lady!
Hence the bumpiness.
Yeah, surely know how to handle this bitch. You keep her in line. I like it. It's good. You take it by the scruff of the neck and you let it know who's the queen. The car's the bitch. You're the queen and I like it. Yeah, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Easy. Whoa!
See what I'm doing with the
What's
steering?
there?
Yeah.
Why are you stupid? Watch out for that! Careful! Well, whilst driving like she was, maybe big and clever on the rally track, it certainly isn't on a housing estate. Remember, lives matter. Chris.
Time now for Sport with Alan Partridge. Alan, got to say that soccer commentary was brilliant last night.
Thank you.
It really was. I mean, I'm not very interested in soccer, but I was totally absorbed and entertained by the whole thing. Great. Tell you what, take a bit of extra time if you want. Do as much as you like on this. I'll be enjoying this too.
Tonight, we're going to look at self-defence.
Brilliant.
Now, self-defence is no longer the preserve of hard men like Charles Bronson and Lee Marvin. More and more these days, we all need to know how to get a bit handy. Anyone who's been on public transport late at night will know that there are a lot of disturbed individuals out there. One minute they may be babbling incoherently, the next they could be going for your person. What do you do? Well, this week is National Self-Defence Week, so who better to tell us than one of Britain's best-loved judo fighting people, Commonwealth silver medalist Adam Neils. Adam.
Hi.
Now, self-defence is not simply about punching someone repeatedly in the face till they're unconscious, is it?
No, it's exactly what it says. It's defending yourself, self-defence with the minimum of force.
Weaponry?
No, just your body. That's all.
Snooker ball in a sock?
No. We teach people how to deal with that, but
What do you call those things with two sticks with a chain between them?
nunchaka.
Yeah, I like those. Now, can we actually see some of the basic? Can you sort of talk me through
Right.
the basic,
Okay, Tanya, if you.
basics of self-defence?
Right. Well, we teach people to deal with anything from a sort of general invasion of body space through to a specific act
Right.
of
So if
aggression.
I was to go like this, wait, no, oh! Tell her I can't breathe.
So she's now wrested control away from you.
I cannot breathe.
Sorry. Okay, that's good. She's wrested control away from you and has overcome you. The aggression's been turned against you.
What happens if someone attacks you from behind?
Right. If you were to attack me from
No.
right, I throw you. I could throw you. I could use an elbow block against you, or I could shock you, immobilise you with just twisting the skin, something.
Get off! Chris.
Time now for Alan Partridge. Got some sport for us?
Certainly have, Chris.
Great.
Hello. Football. And Nottingham Forest may soon be Nottingham D Forest, if coach Liam O'Kane has anything to do with it. He's ordered the entire team to shave their groins in an attempt to enable greater laminar airflow and reduce buckling and weaving of the tendons. The newly depilated men will be shown off to Nottingham fans this evening. On to tennis now, and the sensational young Bulgarian protégé Mila Milandrovic was wowing everybody in Southampton this afternoon as she prepares for the finals of the Ordnance Survey Maps Cup. I was lucky enough to catch up with her this morning as she was practising with some nets. You are from Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
I can imagine when you were small, you were probably taken away from your parents and put in a sports camp.
No, we had the tennis court at my house, and my father was my coach.
You weren't put in a sports camp and trained into a tennis machine.
No, I went to school. It's normal. I would work a lot.
You must be devastated for your countrymen who are subsisting on a diet of bread, potatoes, water and, I don't know, beer. Do you feel guilty?
No, people eat.
Most of your countrywomen tend to have affected a kind of, well, a moustache. And you, I have to say, have got a very, very sort of top lip. It's quite nice, it's very nice. It's sort of very fine and...
Well, I've never suffered from facial hair, but they have electrolysis in my country. You know.
Electrolysis for dissidents.
Time now for Sports Desk with Alan Partridge.
Thanks, Chris. And how's this for a tumble?
There she goes.
bounce, flip over and over and over, and then down, and then back, and over and over and over and over, back and over and over and up and down. And that bit with the hands there, not so good. I mean, I can do that. I'm Alan Partridge. Hello. Later, we'll be showing you all the hot tennis action at tonight's big tennis confrontation. Set point for Edberg. He's got it. No. That was out, surely. I can't believe it. The umpire and the computer says it's in. Let's have a look. No, definitely out. Just shows you computers can go wrong. Anyone who's seen 2001: A Space Odyssey will know that, when Hal refused to open the pod door. Hello, it's been a big day today for the strong game of rugby. They're going to have to close again on him. They keep bringing him down. Let him go. He's saying, get out of the way. I want to play some rugby. Get him. Hit him. Hit him. Right, and the ball's out to West, to Kenny. Kenny's broken through. Yes, he's running. He's clear. He's saying, look at me. Look at me. I've got the ball. I've got the ball. Can you get me? No, I'm going to score. He's scoring a try. He scored. He scored a try. What a magnificent moment as he just ran through there and said, oh, you're not going to get me. I've got the ball.
Now time for sport with Alan Partridge.
Thanks, Chris. And over at Sandown this afternoon, there was a great finish to the 3:30 Chicory Tip Incest Cup. We'll take up the race with 2 furlongs to go. Novelty Bubble on the inside. Novelty Bubble followed by Immaculate Pasta. Christ's Chin coming up on the inside, followed by Abba the Horse and Alf Ramsey's Pawn Dungeon. Coming up the rear, Sinead O'Connor. But Novelty Bubble is holding his own with Immaculate Pasta. Christ's Chin. Christ's Chin. Abba the Horse on the inside. Small Town Gypsy Massacre gaining ground, closely followed by Epileptic Fridge Boy. And Alf Ramsey's Pawn Dungeon breaking through there. Alf Ramsey's Pawn Dungeon. Alf Ramsey's Pawn Dungeon. Sinead O'Connor, third. But no, it seems to me that Christ's Chin and Astonishing Bomb Queen are nowhere, because it's Small Town Gypsy Massacre, Alf Ramsey's Pawn Dungeon, Sinead O'Connor. No, Christ's Chin won. I got confused. And that race was marred by an earlier incident in which champion jockey Lester Piggott fell from his horse and had to be destroyed.
Time now for sport with Alan Partridge. Alan, what do you think happens to you when you die?
Well, certainly buried, or I imagine in the old furnace, isn't it?
I suppose. What if you're buried at sea?
You don't drown. You sink.
Do you think you go up and down in the water, or just down?
Well, I imagine you go with the gases in your body, you probably rise and fall a few times.
How many times?
Half a dozen.
Where are you getting this from, Alan? Half a dozen times up and down in the water. You're a bit of an expert about this, suddenly.
No, it's just that when you die, I don't want to go into detail, but your body sort of ferments. If you have a carton of orange, you leave it for a while in a warm place, it sort of expands with the gases, and it's sort of a bit like that.
How much orange is there in a dead body?
Half a cup.
Half a cup of orange inside a dead body?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, Alan, carry on. I just want you to think about that as you're doing this.
I'm Alan Partridge, and this is Golfing Action. Seve Ballesteros, the bullfighter. That's what I call him, though technically he's a professional golfer. A friend of mine said recently, what do you get if you cross a ballerina and a bastard? Ballesteros was his answer. I guess if you analyse it, that Seve combines the qualities of both those animals. He has the lithe sophistication and nimbleness of a ballerina, combined with the hard-nosed, ruthless thuggery of a bastard.
And Alan Partridge has been digging the personalities of figure skating champions Lily Bowley and Jed Pistols.
There was a lovely move you did when you were skating around. It seemed to me you were twisting her by the head, it looked to me. And I thought you were going to drop her and she was going to go bang! But that didn't happen, thankfully.
Time now for Sport with Alan Partridge.
Thanks, Chris. And here's the latest on bobsleighing. This is the course for the bobsleigh. It's not like Alton Towers, I've got to say. Imagine going on a big dip and then multiplying that by 10 or 20. Ironic, really, to think I had a bobsleigh in my class at school. A boy who had no interest in the sport whatsoever. This course actually reminds me of when I was tobogganing at the age of 16. I hit something and fell off. I was concussed. Hit a cat. No cats here, of course. The groundsmen are quite strict about not letting cats onto this course. One of those things comes down on a cat, it doesn't stand a chance. A bit like standing on a wasp. It's not pleasant, but it's got to be done.
Later, on the Day-to-Day's main Factgasm, news on Britain's traffic roads with travel sultana Valerie Sinatra.
And I'll be keeping you up to date on football, racing and all matters sport.
Thanks, Alan. That's all tomorrow night on the Day-to-Day.
Thanks, Chris. And now some late-night soccer results. I'm Alan Partridge. This is Division 2. Hull Paragraph 5, Portsmouth Bubblejet 1. Sheffield Hysterical 3, Chunky Norwich 1. Richmond Arithmetic versus Nottingham Marjorie match postponed due to bent pitch. Sheffield Bonanza 1, Dynamo Aberdare 4. Manchester Coherent 2, Jill Morel 2. And the Scottish Division 1 game between Taste of Dunfermline and Strathcarnage cannot be stopped. Good night.